All right, I have news. We'll go ahead and call there's court session to order. On the agenda today, we'll be opening 2020 TAN bids. I'd also like to, first of all, make a quick announcement that's being recorded and put on the county YouTube channel. Other announcement, we should schedule an after-action review related to elections. So that'll be an open meeting, but I think you all definitely should be there, and we need to discuss ultimately how we can speed things up for the next election, whether that's buying machines or whatever. But I think that discussion should be had in the relative near future, since that agreement, if we were going to amend it, we'd want to do that quickly.
I can look into, as you know, the commissioners were replaced by an order from the court at the beginning of the year for statute, the name replacement. Members of the Board of Elections, and I was looking to whether or not a motion could be made in court to reestablish the commissioners as the Board of Elections now. They're no longer candidates.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Pam, why don't you work with us to get that scheduled whenever you think best? But I would say we could do it before Thanksgiving, that'd be good.
Yeah, it should be within the next couple of weeks.
The other thing is we could just convert our work session next week to it.
I'd be fine with that.
Okay. Next.
Just see if we can invite Dan and Kim,
Lisa,
and Lisa, and then, yeah, because whatever we're going to do, we really need to make a decision on that really in short order, just because whether it means getting more machines, going to paper, or doing some other thing, we're going to need to get quotes, like on those things, and Lisa would be the one to initiate that.
And there won't be a meeting then the following week, since
CCAP.
that is CCAP.
Yeah.
And the 18th works for me.
Okay. Now, one other schedule related thing. The budget is going to be, look at it here, it's email again, but
27.
so the 26th of December would be when we pass it, the 27th would be when we release it, right?
Well, we would have to release it by December 4th.
Okay, so we'll need to talk about it some.
So the way the schedule looks is, that's why we're kind of saying that we needed some type of preliminary budget that we can negotiate or discuss.
Yeah.
Well, so that we have at least like 2 meetings because we'll have 1 work session and 1 commissioners meeting.
Right.
And then we use those in order to have discussions about what we're going to do with the budget.
Okay, so the 27th, that regular commissioners meeting, we will spend some time talking about the budget.
Potentially.
On the 2nd,
At
that
the work session.
we would kind of tentatively need to approve
Something.
something, so that it's released by the 4th and then passed on the 26th.
Because then that will give the 20-day window for it to be available for review.
Okay, very good. So,
Did you get all that down?
so next work session on the 18th, we will be focusing on production machines, and then we will not have a meeting the following week because we'll be at CCAP. And the following work session will largely dedicate to the budget, most likely.
Potentially. I mean, hopefully the goal is just to have all good news and us just go, and watch a spirit Vicente and then move on. Whatever.
Make you dream.
Well, I can dream.
Okay, I have a question on all of that. December 2nd, you're going to discuss that. When is it going to go up for public review?
The 4th.
By the 4th. So it's
And we can do that without stating that in a public meeting?
We can state it on the December 2nd meeting, saying that it will be released on the 4th, and then we can also send out a press release or something.
Okay.
yeah, because basically what would happen is we would finalize the preliminary budget on the 2nd, and then that would give Eric time to do whatever.
Yeah, tinker with it,
And then he'll print it out and have it displayed on the 4th. So we would do that in a news release, I'm sure.
Joe and I are the only people that are getting
That's true.
I mean, yeah, it'll be them and then like one or two other people that come in and, you know, say, why are you spending so much on shoveling snow or something, you know? So,
Okay,
All right, all clear?
yep.
Good. So any other discussion? Okay, then let's open bids.
First one is eBay.
Okay, not to exceed 4 million. 1 year. Fixed interest rate of 2.08%.
wow. That's like 2/3 of what? Isn't it? Didn't we,
Yeah.
what were you about 3 the last time? It's not really a big bid.
2.086.
I mean, I may be off because we.
I
Northwest.
think it's like 28% less.
It was some, yeah, it was like, yeah. Maybe I'm off. I might be off on that.
Okay, not to exceed 4 million, tax-free fixed rate of 3.216.
I see, that's more,
That's more on line with, that's Northwest.
who did we have last year? Did we have Keith? We had Keith last
And this is Erie Bank.
Okay, Erie Bank, 4 million, tax-free. Everything else is the same, free, tax-free fixed rate of 2.65%. I think that's gonna be an easy decision.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, those are all good, really good bids.
I will give these then to Eric for review.
Well, that's good. Between us dramatically reducing the utilization of the TAN overall and then the really low interest rates that we've gotten this round, we should really save a lot of money.
Honestly, the biggest expense at this point in doing this whole transaction is just we're
Manpower.
doing like 10 to 20,000 that we spend on legal fees. Is there any way we could, not to put you on the spot, but something we could do, like taking out a fixed loan for a longer period of time or something, so we don't have to do the annual attorney's fees?
Let me look into that, yeah, see what your options are.
And it just doesn't make sense to be spending $20,000 a year, we're spending, a couple of grand on interest.
Yeah, just to be clear, that's traditionally been payments made to bond counsel, not
Yeah,
to
right,
the
bond
solicitor.
Yes, yes. Yes, I was not blaming this on you.
That's why you're charging us so much.
You know, I could have did the paper the right way.
Yes, right.
Bond counsel. I'll look into it, I'll report for you.
Okay. That's all the bids. Any quarterly objectives or project updates you want to bring up?
No, I wanted to, no, it's, no.
Okay.
I mean, there's always stuff going on, but nothing of note at this point. I'd like to, maybe once the dust settles on the election and some of the other things, have a conversation about next year, because I think that we both want to be.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. So the swearing in is on the 30th of December. That
Have we-
said, I
have we-
can't be there.
Have we double checked on the legality of that?
And
I have.
the solicitor has.
So that's legal?
It is legal, yeah.
Okay.
We had a conversation, and I actually spoke to the court administrator, and there's a distinction between when you're sworn in and when you assume the duties of your role, yes.
So just as long as everybody's on the same page that you're being sworn in for this job, the date, your effective date
Is
isn't
not
necessarily the
until-
same?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the 2 points I would make, I think, is practically speaking, I look at the court's calendar, and the court, one of the days that we were looking at didn't work because the court was going down to Forest County to swear in their officials. Again, not on the date that they're assuming to take office.
Yeah.
And then, secondly, we make, I make certifications from time to time on behalf of the county as to when certain people's offices end.
Yeah.
As we talk about when your authority extends to, nothing about when the next party is sworn in changes that,
Yeah.
that timeline, so.
Okay.
What I did talk about, the discussion I had with the court administrator was that, if the commissioners wanted to make a joint motion to the court to maybe, request a different date schedule that would consider.
So you can't make it on the 30th?
Correct, I'm leaving after the commissioners meeting on the 26th, I'm leaving for a week to visit the in-laws. So I will be back late on the
Are
2nd.
you sure you don't want to skip that?
This is my first year, I should not do
I'm
that.
joking, yeah, you gotta lay the foundation.
That sound counselor.
Yeah, you gotta lay that foundation there. So are you planning on having a separate ceremony then? I mean,
I believe the option is that I could be sworn in chambers.
Right, that was how it was explained, it would be a private swearing in, private in the sense that it would just be in chambers and not scheduled for, a public session in the courtroom.
should we ask them to do it earlier then, if that's the case? I mean, because you have to be sworn in before you could do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would have to be sworn in before noon on the 6th, because that's a work session and that's a
Technically,
reorganization.
can't the judge just come to our commissioners meeting?
Well, if the judge is available, I suppose.
But I mean, we always have it in the Jackson courtroom when court isn't in session and it take 5 minutes. That's what they do for city council.
Yeah, but the work session is here.
Well, I mean, or our commissioners meeting on the 26th is my point.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be voting on the budget anyway, so we're all gonna be there.
right.
Just have Tricia show up for that and then ask the judge to come to the meeting.
Either that or this.
And can't one of the district justices do it? I mean, the judge doesn't have to do it.
Well, why don't we,
I mean, because,
Judge Hammond could do it.
well, I mean, Hammond, or you could get Zedonic to come over. Like, it doesn't,
either way, why don't we, it sounds like the general consensus is let's look at the 26th and the 6th, and we want all three commissioners to be
Yeah.
sworn in together.
I think that's an appropriate,
I agree.
request, I mean, to have everybody together.
Maybe Pam and I can speak to Linda, have the calendars, everybody's calendars in front of each other, we can pick a date that.
That'd be great. So we'll leave it with you two to settle the swearing in for the commissioners. Then on the 6th at noon, that will be our reorganizational meeting. Pick the chair, vice chair, secretary, appoint solicitor, and chief clerk. And I say for that agenda as far as I know.
The chief clerk and the solicitor would be at the meeting on January, the public meeting.
Okay, so really all we need to do in that meeting is organize. Okay.
Figure out who's gonna be on what committee, sit on
Oh,
what
that's it.
boards.
Right. Okay. Very good. That should be relatively simple.
So, when you were sworn in for city council, who swore you in? Was it Hammond?
I don't want to say yes, can't remember.
Wasn't it Zedonic?
I don't remember.
Because he had just become district justice.
I want to say it was Hammond.
Yeah, maybe it was him.
Well,
Anyway, sorry.
either way, then the work session on the 13th, could we co-opt that to be the big meeting where we talk about the big picture items that we would like to accomplish?
Well, I was just thinking like in anticipation of that, like starting to put, like a list of stuff together, just to, and then as prep, because obviously Tricia Durkin's gonna be a new commissioner, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff that she's gonna wanna learned no, which we should discuss at the work session, but at the same time, it would be great to be able to hit the ground running a little bit and maybe discuss some things that are, that we've had on the, I don't wanna say the back burner, but,
Yeah.
like things that would be, or start to put that list together and then maybe make that meeting more like a strategic planning kind of thing where, I guess what I'm saying
So you're
is,
suggesting that we invite her to one of the work sessions prior to,
she could do that too. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't, if she's available, absolutely. I guess what I'm saying is I look at it like, my assumption is like that first month, like those work sessions are gonna be long and there's gonna be a lot of debate on like setting policy and what direction we're gonna move the county in. And it would be good to just kind of try to put as much together leading up to that so that when we sit down, we say, okay, here's a list of stuff that we're talking about working on. And then, and then kind of going from there. I'm not saying that we have to do that before January. I'm just throwing that out there as, maybe one of these work sessions in December, we kind of kick around like some of the stuff that we want to put on the docket.
okay, that sounds good. I'll, either Pam or I will contact her and see if she can make it to one of the work sessions in December,
Yeah,
get that started.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else to bring up? So the agenda, we have, repository bid, CDBG, zoning request, appointments to the library board, the planning commission, an agreement with the state police for, putting up a new tower in Warren, and discussions on 504 Rehabilitation Act. I assume that was from, I don't know. It was, yes. I remember that now.
And there's also 2 public hearings
Yes, before
before
that.
that.
We also want to talk about the housing authority.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about that sooner than later.
Yep.
Now, we just received Bill Clark's resignation. I think that leaves only 1 or 2 people on that board.
Well, I definitely think that we
Just
should.
from the housing authority?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
so. At least, yeah, no, it's not the RDA. Or what?
VEI.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, okay.
Right, sorry.
Yes.
So I'd like to talk about housing authority.
Well, yeah, because I think that we need to get a copy of their bylaws, or whatever the bylaws of the organization are, because it is a county authority,
Right.
and
It's created by county ordinance. We should find the ordinance.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Pam, can you dig up the ordinance related to the housing authority, and then kind of talk about, recruitment of people, and then also maybe trying to engage them. I met with the director at the beginning of the year, had a long conversation about it, and I think that there's a lot of things that the county and the housing authority can collaborate on, so I think it'd be good to have that discussion. Maybe we could invite Tanya here, to discuss the housing authority.
You want that on the agenda for tomorrow?
Oh,
No.
That is tomorrow, isn't
Yeah.
What?
it? Wait, yeah, it is tomorrow.
Yeah, no, not for tomorrow.
Yeah.
We gotta have time to send correspondence and stuff.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, dig up everything 3 days ago and give it to us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Department updates.
I don't think you'll hear anything back, but I have to file a complaint against one of the field agents for the VA
Oh,
for being inappropriate with one of the director of the suites at Rouse.
That's not good.
So they are, matter of fact, they called me today, they are investigating, so.
okay. Thank you. Just FYI, Thursday, I'm planning on taking something that can be a comp day.
How dare you?
On Thursday.
Thursday, is that okay?
We might need you to pop in town.
Okay. Sounds ominous. All right. But I am coming down, so that day, there's the 4-H achievement event. I will get you the letter. The Visitors Bureau meeting, the WCCBI Excellence Gala, and the Fire Services Committee meeting. So obviously, I can't get everything.
Is the Visitors Bureau annual meeting?
Yeah, they always do that. The WCCBI and the Visitors Bureau always have their annual event at the same time.
The VCCBI's annual meetings?
Their 2019 celebration gala thing. Yeah,
Okay, did you get an email? Because I don't think I put that on Jeff's calendar.
it came in an invitation like a month ago.
That's okay, I'll look for it. Find it.
So anyway, I will be in town towards the later afternoon. Frankly, I just really need to keep working on a renovation project. And I've put in enough time here that I'd like to do that. So anyway, I can pop in, but later in the day would be better. Okay, so that's about it. That's all I was gonna know. Are you going to BEI recognition lunch on Friday? Okay, good. Okay, that's it for schedule. Unless you have anything else. Any reason for executive session now? Oh, we scheduled an executive session.
For,
For Nathaniel's items.
but that was for Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This
next,
is,
yeah, later in the week, right?
it's on the,
I know it came up on my schedule, so it's either later this week or.
No, it's 10:30, hold on, I can't remember.
It's not on Friday.
No,
I think it's next week, isn't it?
here, it's Tuesday at 10:30.
There you go.
is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday at 10:30?
Oh, Wednesday, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
Wednesday.
switched my calendar.
Okay,
Okay, so anyway, and that'll be to discuss all active, just the general update.
okay.
Okay. So no cause for executive session today, correct?
That's correct.
Anything else to discuss?
I guess, do we know when the election results will become official? When has Lisa issued the certified?
Today is the last day that they can accept military absentee ballots.
And then I think she has 1 or 2 weeks to get everything done and actually certify her election. Because she has to do the NLV books, and the, the voters that signed in, and she has to do all that before she can certify.
We signed the paperwork for the state elections,
Right,
because she has to get that into the state, but that's all we signed so far.
okay.
So we wouldn't want to take back over until you guys have signed that completely off.
Well, that being said, what I was gonna propose, because you guys wanna talk about, I mean, you guys can discuss, I guess, whatever you want at a work session next
Mhm.
week. The other option would be for the board of elections to call a meeting, which you guys were invited to, and they could give feedback.
Either way, it's fine.
My only thing is that we're just asking for information, so, it's gonna be quotes and stuff like that. I mean, we're not gonna be able to make a decision until after their term is up anyway. Like, I just wanna
I
get
think
that.
it would be good to get some discussion in, because the next election is going to be,
We'll be here before
it
you
could
know
be
it.
a lot worse, and it's gonna be here very quickly,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be a lot of things that need to be done, either electronically or go backwards.
Well, if certainly it's just a recommendation, but if the board of election wants to hold a meeting to receive public feedback, we can do that, and you guys can take it from there.
I don't know that I would want to do a public meeting yet.
I mean, it would be a public
I
meeting,
think we could
but
do
not-
a public meeting maybe afterwards,
Okay,
because I think if we advertise a public meeting on the vote, we would not get anything discussed about going further.
mhm.
Well, and I don't know that there's any confusion on the issues. I mean, I think that, I don't know what other information we would get from the public. Everybody's had conversations it out pretty extensively.
I think the stuff you get from the public is how long they have to stand in line.
Yeah, which everyone's aware of, and that's something that we're
Well,
wanting to address.
That's why I'm not sure that it would be appropriate to talk about forthcoming in a public election.
We'll get it
We're
out.
having a public meeting, we do a public meeting as an action report. But I'm only one member of the board, and I'm sitting there talking, so.
No, I'm just here to facilitate, yeah.
But I think it's cleanest if we just come all together in a work session next week. There's not gonna be any official action taken, but it's a advertised meeting anyway, so we're safe on sunshine grounds.
Okay.
So you gonna notify the board, or you want me to?
Oh, I can send you guys an email and ask that you be available and come to the work session.
Okay. Anything else?